we got ourselves a very nice dreadnought. It's a Washburn D12 N. It was made in 1989. I can wait. Very nice guitars, very nice sound, very rich sound. Spruce tops, I believe. Nice rich sound. Maybe a little bit high in the strings here, and I think maybe the body has sunk slightly. I'm going to put a new set of strings on it and get it and have a good look inside to make sure. A couple of little dings. I'm not sure what that bridge is. It's not rosewood. I think it might be a maple bridge, dark maple, but I'm not sure. When you go onto the Washburn site and you look it up, it says it's a D12 N from 1989, but it tells you nothing else about it. Now those strings have seen better days. It's a nicely made guitar, not an awful lot wrong with it. A few scuffs and scratches. As you can see, the back, the way the back, maybe the light's not a great way to sit, but the back looks beautiful with that little stripe down the back. And they go to the bother of a little, hopefully that's in focus, a little input in there, and they use Washburn tuners. Are you going to get in? Are you going to get in focus? Are you in focus? I can't tell. I can't see. Anyway, let's hope it is. Now, I see a paleness. The neck looks to be made of the same stuff as that. Dark at the top, which means it's dirty, and pale at the bottom. I need to know what that's made of. I will find out, and I'll put it up on a description somewhere on this machiny thingy here. So now I'm going to do something very naughty. Oh, before I do, look at that. Look, cheap £2.50 clippers, right? And they go blunt very quickly. So I thought, let's spend a bit of money and get a good pair, because you're always constantly using them. So I got a good pair of clippers, and look, snapped. And you know what I was cutting with it? Plastic tubing, simple, clear, shrink tubing. I was cutting that with it, and it infuriates me. I pay 12 quid for a good set of things and they snap like that. Anyway, I kept that especially to show you, so that I could garn and then throw it in the bin. So in the bin you go. Right, anyway, I'm going to get my cheap clippers. Now I need to buy another one. I haven't loosened the strings. Isn't that naughty of me? Right, these look like 12s. Why do I like doing that so much? And look who's up. Georgie girl, as usual. She hears the strings. She hears the strings coming, don't you, girl? Don't you? My little baby. She was a very naughty girl today. Very naughty. The gentleman was in, brought me a guitar, and she did not like me talking to him, and she had to be up in my arms, and eventually she got so cross with me speaking to someone that she put her claws up and caught my lip. So she's in, you're in my bad books. You are in my bad books. Now if I put that down, it's going to be gone, so I need to get a, if I put that there, she might not see it, right? And I can put it in, but if she sees it, she'll be over trying to pull them out, and that would make me fine, because these are, Washburns are excellent sounding guitars. Nice, everything they do is pretty nice. They are pretty hit and miss when you get into the newer makes of them, because like everything else, they try to go machine bound and go cheap. But this is a 1989 one, and it's a good one. It's one of the ones that you'll have a lovely rich sound for. And the gentleman's getting a free set of strings because of the generous donation of one of my clients. So, and isn't that lovely? Look at that, look. You can take the strings off without all that hassle I had the other day. There, she's at the strings as usual. Right, so I'm going to test the neck on this to see how straight the neck is, because I think that the action's a little bit worse than it should be. And I'm hoping it can be taken out with a truss rod, and maybe a little room. There's not much room there to take that down on the saddle. So, oh, this one's caught. Right, okay, let me tidy this up. One of them's caught over. Yes, I know I love you too, but I don't want you playing with strings if I can help it. Very dirty strings. But that's what you get when you play a guitar. You're dirty. Ow! Blood. I'm doing this to stop you getting blood. Now look at me, I'm getting blood. You are a pain. I'm blaming you. Right. Now that's 2 days in a row I've caused myself some blood. Alright, okay. Oh look, the nut's loose. It's a bone nut, so it's okay. It can go back in. I don't actually mind the nut coming off. I actually quite like to see that, because it means that nobody's gone crazy on this guitar and glued it within an inch of its life. So let me look at this here to see why this is caught up or broken. So I have to look. Blood. I'm going to get an X rating on this, and it's sore. For some reason it's sore. I think it went in fairly deeply. Extremely busy day today. I'm very glad to get working on guitars, because the business was very busy. And it's not just coming up for Christmas, it's just busy all the time. The cold weather makes my business even busier. So let me just check the tuning knobs to see that they're all feeling okay. Yeah, they're feeling fine. Slightly loose. I will tighten them up. They all feel quite firm, but these are slightly loose, so I'm going to tighten them now. Why wait for spring? Do it now. Okay, honestly, they must be designed like that, because there is no tightening for them, unless the nylon washers have been worn away. But irregardless, they're working well. I actually don't see nylon washers there, I see black rubber washers. So let's check the neck, and hopefully it'll have a massive underbow, which it doesn't have. No, the neck is perfectly straight. I would have preferred a massive underbow, to be quite honest, because when I put this straight edge on, this should go on top of the bridge. Can you see? Can I bring you? Explain this to me grannies. You probably half of you know that this is the way the case should be. When you get a straight neck, when your neck's perfect, it should be about that far off the bridge. But when it's sunk, it'll hit beneath that, which means that you have to raise the strings up higher to get the clearance. It also means that there's something over the years. What are you talking? 1989, 90, 2000, 22 years ago. The guitar has sunk down over the years, which is fine. That's what happens. Going to test the bridge to see if the bridge is okay. And it's firm. The way I do it is very, very simple. Bit of paper. Nothing wrong with that bridge at all. Nothing wrong with it. Perfectly okay. Right, so we have a little bit of loss body-wise. I can bring that down a bit, but not a lot. Someday it's going to need a neck reset, but I'm not doing that this time because it doesn't need it just yet. So what I'm going to do now is switch you off, and then we're going to go delve deep inside to have a good look at all the struts. Here we go. You won't be able to hear me too clearly. It gets a bit muffled, but I'm going to have a good look at the struts at the top and everything up there, and see if anything's not glued. Mind you, that all looks pretty nice. There's nothing bad there at all. Purfling's fine. I'm going to just press on the top. I'm going to press on the top as let me just see if there's any gap, any movement there. No, I can't see. You, as I say before, you can see better than me. There's very little movement there. Now I can't see anything. I'm on the wrong side, but I'm pressing down. There, right. Let's just see. Go up there. And press down. Any movement. I'll be able to examine this on the camera. Let me get round there. Any movement? I don't think there is, but I can't see very well. That's it all. Press down right there. Right, so it's pretty clean all around. It has a little code there. What does it say? It says George Washburn guitar. And it has the serial number there and a DN12. The first two letters you see are 89. That's how I know it's in 1989. I'm not just a pretty face, you know. Okay, let's go back to the other camera. So my plan of action will be to bring this down a bit, just a bit. Will it come out? Let me just make sure it comes out. It does. It looks deep, but it's also deep into the guitar, so only get a little fraction of a, let me just see, yeah, that's the right way around. Can only get a little fraction of height fixed there, not much. And I'll put that in the box because I want to polish that and oil that. It's been glossed, so I'm going to take some of the gloss off and polish it. I think my plan of action will be to do the frets. I think the frets at this stage need to be tested, so let's test them for levelness. Let's have a quick look at them to see how much wear and tear they have on them. Oh, that's fine. There's nothing there that's exciting. So let's just check it for fret level. I'm going to speed this up using a brown marker, because if I spill any on the board you won't notice it. There, that side, that side, that side. So what I'm going to do is bring my little machine out, bring those down a bit, and then give the whole fretboard a scrape, and then a polish. Love my tool. It was bought to me. It was donated to me. And I love it because it was donated to me, but I love it because it's a great tool. It's got that, I wonder if you can see it. It's got 3 different sizes of frets on it. Wide, small and narrow. So it's pretty typical to find those down there higher. There wasn't much in it. Fantastic. Now I'm going to scrape and use a brand new sharp blade, because you use a dull blade you'll end up getting lines on your bridge. Do you need, no, I'm going to speed this up. Can you see okay? No, you can't see. I'm going to move you. Told you I'd move you, didn't I? Didn't I? Right, okay. Let's do some scraping. Now, you'll notice dark there, light there. If I take the light off it, you'll see it's, let me just switch the light off. You'll see there's a lightness there compared to the top. Now that would be, you might not, well, let me take the other light off to give you a really good, that might give you a better idea how dark one side is to the other. That's all, that will be all finger. Oh, we can feel a little bit of grooves. That'll be all grease and fingers over the years. So, and sometimes when you play it a lot, and I know this gentleman does play it a fair amount, so there will be. So you'll notice a very good big difference by the time I finish scraping. What you thought was grain will be grease from fingers. You see the way it looks like there's lines there that are part of the natural woodwork? They're not. They're dirt from over the years. So let me just take it away and you'll see the difference. No, let me just move this. Now you're only taking away a hair's breadth. You're hardly taking away anything. It looks worse than it is. That's probably all grease and dirt. So you can see it's much nicer looking now. It's actually coming back to the natural, genuine wood shades and grain. Look at the difference between that and that. And when I oil it, that'll even come up better. Now if I didn't use a very sharp brand new blade, you would get this juddering because it'd be skipping across it. And if I feel that the blade's in the slightest going to do that, I will change it. I lost all power today. I was sitting working on my computer and it just went off. And it turns out that my electricity is connected to a street lamp, my electricity box outside. Because I live in a private estate, the street lamp is connected to our own outside boxes, but it's not charged to our account. But the street lamp went faulty and blew every fuse. So I had to go around the whole place, switching off all the plugs, checking it again. It just happened to be outside, so I was in and out and in and out and in and out. And eventually I rang the estate manager and I said, listen, I pulled all my plugs, I pulled everything in the house, pulled them all plugged out, and it's still going, so it looks like it's an outside box. Well, the manager came down within about 10 minutes. Luckily it was 4:30. If it had been later in the day it might have been a bit of a problem. But we, between us, managed to find out that the street lamp had fused and had just tripped the outside switch. That's why no matter what I did inside the house, it wouldn't fix it because it was outside the house was fixing it. So we managed just to isolate the... I'm not going to scrape down here. If it doesn't need scraped and the colour's good, I'm not going to do it. Right. So, back to electricity I am. And it's amazing how lost you are without electricity. I could do nothing. I couldn't heat the place. I couldn't do anything. It was only about 20 minutes, but you're sort of thinking, what do I do? Where do I sleep? Do I go to bed and just cuddle up and pretend nothing's happened, you know? Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go inside the grooves to clear away any gunk that might be inside the grooves. And I do this slowly, because if you slip, you've got to go scoring across it. So I do it slowly, and I do it one way. And I do it in one side of the fret only. And when I've done the whole thing, I'll turn the guitar around, because my right hand's my steadier hand, and I'll do it the other way down the frets to do the top of the frets. Turn your camera around, right, and use a fairly stiff plastic brush just to do each side. Just a quick, because I'm going to do this again whenever I finish polishing the frets. Frets are all very nicely done. When you got a good guitar, if you feel down the side of the frets, if you feel any roughness, you'll know that you've got not a bad guitar, but not an expensive guitar. So this will tell you whether you've got a pretty decent guitar or not. Right. Now, what do I use? What am I going to use on this? 1,000 first. Where's 1,000? Not 300. 1,000. There's 2,000, 5,000. What are you? Are you 1,000? Yes, 1,000. And I'm just going to polish this. So I use 2,000 3500 I want to give it a proper polish. Right, where are you? 3500. Now I'm going to use the oil to clean this rather than using the water to clean it. So I'll put the oil on first and then take it off. And then the water won't be getting into the, hold on a second, a little bit more. It's a little bit drier than I thought it would be. The neck. So. And you can see the shade of the neck coming up properly now. It won't stay that dark because it's not that dark a wood, but the oil makes it look dark. But it looks beautiful, doesn't it? Doesn't that look nice? It won't stay as dark as that, but it looks lovely, doesn't it? Right, let's do the bridge. I'm just letting the camera run. I have 7 or 8 projects on the video, and some of them are waiting for parts as usual. Nothing, very few go very smoothly. This is fairly normal. This one should go, touch wood, without any hassle. So this here, I'm going to give it a little rub, and I'm going to use some 2500 sandpaper just to give it a little rub. If you use 2500 or 3000 on your guitar, you'd be surprised at how shiny it can come up once you put some paste on it, some polishing paste. Even that guitar, even that car stuff, you know, that take scratches out. You give your guitar a little rub with 2500 or 3000, even better, and then do the polishing paste on top, and your guitar come up lovely. So this, I think, has had, unless I think the polishing might be the palm of the man's hand, you know, you're strumming, so it's not been polished, which is a good thing, which that means it'll take the oil better. But it's shiny there. You can't see it probably, but it's shiny there. Okay, let's put some oil on this. Yeah, see the change of color almost automatically. Using my fingers on this one to get into the grooves and the sides. If somebody would donate me kitchen towel, I use an awful lot of kitchen towel. Alright, now what I do too is just to give the guitar a polish. The fretboard oil is a very good cleaner as well. Don't need an awful lot of it, but it's a very good cleaner. Where's the lid? What have I done with the lid? Where have I put the lid? What have I done with the lid? Okay, well, if you want to hide, that's fine. Right, now the next thing I'm going to do is pause. I'm going to get that bridge, shave some of that off and put that down in again. The way I'll shave something off is I'll use that there. A straight edge, just put a pencil mark on it. Yeah, that's about right. I'm only going to take a shave off it, and the pencil mark is not where I want to go to. The pencil mark is just to let me see that I am achieving something by taking something off it. So I'll go and do that because that's more boring than this is. Well, that didn't take long, and you can still see the pencil mark there, but I've taken a good millimeter away, and that's as far as I dare go down. Let me just see. It's such a nice fit, I was tempted to clean the sides, but I don't want to because I like the fact that it fits tight and neatly. So that's that. That's the fretboard, bridge, and now I'm going to look at the tuners, but I'm going to clean up first and remove the camera. Right, I'm going to string this now. I'm going to use 9s. I'm not going to glue that in, by the way. I'm going to let it sit. It's such a neat fit. If I noticed that the nut was moving or anything like that there, I would put a touch of glue in it. But I'm not going to do that in this case because it looks quite a fit. Anyway, I was just saying I'm going to use a set of 9s because the thicker the strings, the richer the sound, but the more tension's put on the two. And because this body has already gone down a little bit, I'll put on 9s. Now the gentleman may want to change them to whatever he wishes to put on them, but I think that what I would probably advise him to do is use 9s from now on, and he'll get a longer life from the guitar. It's a long-lived guitar anyway, but it's still a lovely guitar, and you want it to give it as long life as possible. So I've lowered the bridge, putting the strings in, and I'm not going to talk from here on in because I'm going to speed this up. Right, come back later. I was doing the video of this Washburn last night to put it up on YouTube, and I couldn't find the last final demo of it being played. So I had to ask the gentleman to bring the guitar back again. Luckily he doesn't live too far away. But I think we missed a good bit of it because what I did is I did a lot of work on the nut, polished and scraped the frets, and did everything that you probably saw on it. But I did that on the video and I can't find it now. And I played a little demo at the end talking about how rich the guitar was, but it sounds beautiful. Now the one thing that I can't do at this stage is reduce that gap down. If you were a player that played up here, it would be no good for you. But because the body has sunk over, what are it, 20 years, 21 years, it needs a neck reset. But the person who owns it will only be playing up here, and I've reduced the action way, way down at the top by working on the top nut. But it's a beautiful sounding guitar. All Washburns sound beautiful, I think. Anyway, that's all I wanted to do. Let you see it. It's sounding and working beautifully now. And the next time I see it will probably be whenever it comes in for a neck reset. But I don't think that will be for a lot of years to come.